You bought a stock, it dropped 40%, and you still won't sell it. You check it every day. You keep telling yourself it'll come back. And deep down, you know you're probably wrong. Everyone who's ever invested knows this exact feeling. And it has nothing to do with how smart you are. Your brain treats that losing stock in a way that makes selling it feel almost impossible. And once you see what it's doing, you'll understand every bad investment decision you've ever made. It starts with something nobody warns you about. The moment you buy a stock, it stops being just a stock. When you put money into a company, you're not just buying shares. You did the research, you weighed it up, you decided to invest. So that position in your portfolio isn't just an asset anymore. It's your judgment, sitting there with a number on it, going up or down for everyone to see. And that changes everything, because now selling at a loss feels like admitting you were wrong. That's why people spend hours defending a losing stock to their friends, to strangers online, and to themselves. And your brain helps you do it. It's called confirmation bias. You start hunting for every article that says the stock will recover and skipping past everything that says it won't. Meanwhile, the loss sits there, and you'd think the pain of watching it would eventually force you to sell. So why does it do the exact opposite? Because of how your brain handles losses. And this is one of the most important findings in all of behavioral economics. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky showed that losing money hurts about twice as much as gaining the same amount feels good. Win $1,000 and you feel pretty good for an afternoon. Lose $1,000 and it ruins your week. And here's the part that keeps people stuck. While you hold the stock, the loss doesn't feel real yet. It's just a number on a screen that could still recover. The moment you sell, it becomes permanent. There's no undo. So your brain, desperate to avoid that final irreversible pain, picks the option that feels safer, which is doing nothing. And while you sit there waiting, your brain fixates on one number above everything else, the price you paid. Say you bought at $100 and it's sitting at $60. That number, 100, feels incredibly important. Getting back to it feels like the goal. I'll sell when it breaks even, you tell yourself, and it feels completely reasonable. But think about what that actually means. The market doesn't know you paid $100. Nobody knows what you paid. Of the millions of people trading that stock today, not one of them cares about your entry price. It has no meaning outside your own head. This is anchoring. Your brain grabs a reference number and judges everything against it, instead of asking the only question that matters. Is this company worth owning at today's price? Break even isn't a strategy. It's your brain trying to make the pain never have happened. Professional investors fight this by looking at every position as if they were seeing it for the first time. But for most people, there's too much history to ignore. And that history is its own trap. Because by now, you've put so much in. Not just the money, the hours of research, the earnings calls you sat through, the arguments you had defending it. Selling now would feel like all of that was for nothing. So you hold, and maybe you buy more to average down, and now you're even deeper in. This is the sunk cost fallacy, and it runs more financial decisions than almost anything else. The logic feels airtight from the inside. I've already committed so much, I can't stop now. But everything you've already put in is gone whether you sell or not. And if you're thinking experienced investors grow out of this, that's the next surprise. They don't. Fund managers do this. Professional traders do this. People who teach behavioral finance do this with their own portfolios. Studies keep finding that knowing about these biases doesn't switch them off because they're not a knowledge problem, they're wiring. Your brain spent millions of years learning that losses are threats because for most of human history, a serious loss could kill you. Lose your food, your shelter, your standing in the group, and you might not survive the winter. So the brain that treats losses as emergencies is the brain that made it here. The problem is that brain is now managing a portfolio, an environment it was never built for, where the smart move is often to calmly accept a small loss, which is precisely the thing it cannot calmly do. The best investors aren't the ones who somehow feel nothing. They're the ones who accept they'll always feel it and build around it. So what does building around it look like? It means making your decisions before the emotions show up. Decide your exit before you buy. If it drops 20%, or if the reason you bought stops being true, you're out. Judge every stock by today, not by your entry. Cap how much of your portfolio sits in any one position, because it's a lot easier to think straight about something that can't sink you. Write down why you bought, and check back now and then to see if that reason still holds. If it doesn't, the trade is over, no matter where the price is. And when you're not sure, ask yourself the cleanest question in investing. If I didn't own this stock today, would I buy it at this price? If the answer is no, you already know what holding it means. The market doesn't punish people for being wrong. Everyone is wrong, constantly, including the best investors alive. It punishes people for refusing to admit it. Your brain will always protect your ego, dodge the pain, and cling to the decision you already made. That's just being human. But it means you have to get good at spotting mistakes before it's too late. Sometimes, the most profitable thing you'll ever do is stop. What's a losing stock you held onto, even when you knew you shouldn't? And what's the real reason you held on? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.